Now, this is going to be the third unit of TPCA. We'll discuss about biocides and the various biological bacteria and microorganisms that can affect paint films and stored paints. Okay, so let us start straight away by describing microbes. Okay, microbes are it is a general term used for microorganisms. It is basically of three types: algae, fungi, and then we have bacteria. Okay, so let us first understand what algae are. These are multicellular or unicellular plant plant family organisms that have a nucleus. Okay, they have chlorophyll, obviously, so they can perform photosynthesis, and hence they are found only in exterior coatings or paints which are exposed to sunlight. Now, then we have fungi. Fungi are again microorganisms with a nuclei, and they generally tend to be present in places where moisture is there, although they can be present anywhere. Right? Now, then we have bacteria. Okay, bacteria are again microorganisms with the nuclei. They are gram positive and gram negative. Gram positive means that they can change color. Gram negative ones cannot change color. Okay, and obviously they act in alkaline to neutral pH. That is the activity range of bacteria. Now that we have understood what microbes are, let us talk about preservatives. How we are going to prevent the growth of microbes. So preservatives are chemical substances that are intended to protect or maintain the quality of a product which is not intended for immediate use. हमें तुरंत नहीं यूज करना है पेंट का, तो उसके लिए हम जो केमिकल सब्सटेंस यूज करेंगे उसे कहेंगे हम प्रिजर्वेटिव्स. ओके, so they obviously kill and inhibit the growth of microorganisms. Now we'll discuss about the damages that happen in the paint industry. First is the in-can damage, and then it is the in-film damage. So in-can damage can be understood by 7 symptoms. The first symptom is visible surface growth of microbes. Okay. The second one is product separation. Okay. Then third one is discoloration, obviously. Then we have change in viscosity. Then we have pH drift. Then we have bad odor, and the last is gas release. These are the 7 symptoms of in-can damage. Now then we have in-film damage. In-film damage, it occurs by fungal and algal growth on the film. It generally happens in the exterior coatings only, but it can also happen in the interior because, as I just told you, fungi can grow anywhere. Okay, so now that we have discussed the damages, microbes, and preservatives, let us come to specifically the additives that we are going to use. So let us first define what biocides are. Okay, biocides are chemical substances that kill or inhibit the growth of microorganisms. They are of three types: fungicides, algicides, and bactericides. Okay, the name itself defines them. So we have in-can preservatives as a first point of discussion. This is the first important point of discussion: in-can preservatives. Okay, these are required for waterborne and biodegradable paints. Okay, obviously, waterborne and biodegradable paints will only be attacked by our microbes. Okay, so then it can prevent the growth of bacteria, specifically gram negative bacteria. They specifically attack our paints, and they are also difficult to detect because there is no change in color in them. Then plant hygiene is a major factor in these in-can preservatives because they deal with raw material process and production of our entire paint system. Okay, so let us now discuss the types of in-can preservatives. First, we have membrane active preservatives. Now, what are membrane active preservatives? As the name suggests, membrane active preservatives adhere to the microbes non-specifically. That is, they absorb on the surface of the microbes non-specifically. Okay, this is the first point. Second, they cause denaturation of protein. Okay, this is a very important point. They cause denaturation of protein. Second, they lead to the loss of semi-permeability of the cell membrane of these microorganisms. Okay, And then we have loss of transport, loss of cell transport, which is caused by these INCAN preservatives. Okay, now let us understand this with a diagram. Suppose this is a microbe. Okay, our INCAN preservatives will non-specifically attach themselves to the surface. They will get absorbed on the cell membrane non-specifically, कहीं भी लग जाएंगे. ठीक है. What this will do is this will affect the semi permeability of the membrane. Okay, this cell membrane of these microbes is semi permeable. It allows certain substances to come in, but these absorbed INCAN preservatives are restricting the semi permeability. Okay, and then obviously the transport in and out of the bacteria, cell transport is definitely affected over here. They also lead to ionic and organic molecules penetrating inside the cell. Our INCAN preservatives also lead to ionic and organic molecules penetrating inside the cell, which definitely leads to the disturbance of the metabolism. Right? So these are what membrane active INCAN preservatives are. Okay, we have examples like alcohol quaternary amine, which can be described as membrane active INCAN preservatives. Then we have electrophilically active membrane preservatives. Now, what do? They electrophilically active INCAN preservatives react with the nucleophilic functional groups of the cell part. So it is obviously easy to understand. Let us say there is a nucleophilic group on this cell wall. Our electrophilically active preservatives will react with this, and they will lead to the hindrance of or disturbance in function of amino acids and amino compounds and enzymes, which will definitely lead to the metabolic disturbance in our cell. There are various examples. Formaldehyde releasing compounds, we have aldehyde releasing compounds. Okay, we have glutyraldehydes. Now let us discuss the types, some major types of or examples, some major examples and popular INCAN preservatives. So first up we have formaldehyde. So formaldehyde reacts with carbonyl, sulfidal, hydroxyl and amino compounds of the cell part and cause destruction or deactivation of cell functionality or metabolism. Okay. Now these have various drawbacks. They are highly reactive and volatile. So this is a drawback. They lead to bad odor and they are not compatible with various compounds such as aminos and various salts. This is a very important, these are very important drawbacks of these formaldehyde compounds. And then we have the second type of INCAN preservative, which is the formaldehyde releasing compound. Now these formaldehyde releasing compounds do not have any of the drawbacks of the formaldehyde compounds, and that is why they are preferred over the formaldehyde compounds. So there's nothing as such specific written in notes about these formaldehyde releasing compounds. Then we have glutyraldehydes. Now glutyraldehydes are 20% more efficient than formaldehyde. Okay, they destroy or deteriorate the cell metabolism by reacting with sulfidal and amino compounds. Okay, then after this we have phenol derivatives. Okay, so these are highly toxic and volatile. And also degrade atmosphere. Phenolic derivatives such as mostly alkaline derivatives and halogenated compounds are used in the industry. Okay. So in low concentration, they are microbiostatic, and in high concentration, these phenol derivatives are microbioacidic. बायोस्टैटिक ऑब्वियसली अभी मैंने बताया माइक्रोब्स की ग्रोथ को रोकेगा और मल्टीप्लिकेशन को रोकेगा, बट माइक्रोबायोसिडिक मार देगा भाई उसको. ठीक है. So this is phenol derivatives. Next we have acids. These penetrate into the cell walls and the cell and disturb the metabolism of the cell. They also kill and inhibit the growth of these microbes. Then we have quaternary amine compounds. Again, these are electrophilically active ones, the quaternary amines. They are negatively charged ammonium compounds. They cause adsorption of negatively charged substances on the cell surface. Obviously, they react with the nucleophilic groups in the cell part, as we had discussed. Further, they penetrate the cytoplasm and disturb the growth. Cytoplasm के अंदर जाके growth को ये completely disturb कर देता है. As the pH increases, the activity of these compounds, that is the quaternary amines, also increases. And a very important point to note, they do not work. The quaternary amines do not work at the pH of less than 3. Okay. Now next up we have in-film preservatives. Just like the in-can preservatives, in-film preservatives are also of two types, membrane active and electrophilically active. I don't think I have to define it again, so we'll straight jump into the various famous examples of in-film preservatives. Okay. Basically, let us define in-film preservatives first. In-film preservatives are the preservatives that are used to prevent microbial growth or microbial deterioration of the applied film of paint. Okay, this is a definition which I have created. As such, in notes it is not written anywhere, so it is most probably correct. You can write it in the examination. Now let us come to the famous examples of in-film preservatives. First up we have benzimidazoles. Okay, benzimidazoles, this is a very famous compound. Pidilite produces it, as I saw in their website. Not today, last year I saw it. And various other companies also produce these benzimidazoles. So this is a way you can remember them. Benzimidazoles are fungicides. Okay, they are pure fungicides. They are ineffective against bacteria. They are purely fungicides. Now their modus operandi is disturbance of DNA synthesis or stoppage of DNA synthesis. That is the modus operandi. So very easy to remember benzimidazoles. They are pure fungicides. Okay, then they are ineffective against bacteria. All right, then their modus operandi is inhibition of DNA synthesis. These are the 3 points which make us remember benzimidazoles. Then we have carbamates and dithiocarbamates. Okay, so these are fungicides, bactericides, and algicides. They attack all 3 of them. Okay, they form complexes with metal ions, and hence they are able to inhibit bacterial, fungal, and algal growth. There is a disadvantage in them. They can cause discoloration. Okay, then we have haloalkyl thio compounds. Okay, let me check it once. Yeah, then the third type is N-haloalkyl thio compounds. Now their functionality basically depends on the activity of their NS bond. N-haloalkyl thio compounds. Okay, very easy to remember. N-haloalkyl thio compounds. Okay, some organic compound with an NS bond and haloalkyl thio compound. Now this NS bond is this NS structure is the one which interacts with the nucleophilic part of the cell membranes, or these are basically electrophilically active ones. Okay, they have various toxophoric substance such as CSX3. X can be chlorine or fluorine. Okay. Whew. This NS bond opens and reacts with the nucleophilic substances of the microbial cell. Okay, so we have discussed 3 in-film preservatives up to this point. The first was benzimidazoles, the second was carbamates and dithiocarbamates, the third was N-haloalkyl thio compounds. Now we come to the fourth one. This is a bit tough to remember, but once you understand the terminology, it becomes quite easy. Okay, we have 2N octyl 4 iso Oh, even I forgot. See, thiazolin, thiazolin 3-on. Okay, so this is known as OIT. 2 and octyl 4 isothiazolin 3-on. You'll have to memorize this somehow. Okay, there are no two ways around it. So this is an infant preservative which is very efficient against all the three types of microbes, that is algae, bacteria and fungi. The only problem with this is its leaching rate because of its interaction with water. Because this is water soluble, the leaching rate is very high, which is something that is indesirable, not desirable in preservatives. Okay. Now we have discussed four, we come to the fifth one, which is zinc pyrithions. Zinc pyrithions are generally effective against all the three types of microbes, but they're specifically effective against fungi. Now this is something that I found on Google searches and various websites. They are effective. Zinc pyrithions are effective against all three microbes, but typically active against are fungicides, and these are membrane active biocides. Okay, these are the only 2 points that are written in the notes, so I didn't elaborate further because we have the exam tomorrow itself. Next we have Duron, Diuron. This is only an algicide, and this performs its function by preventing photosynthesis. It inhibits the electron transport of photosynthetic cells and prevents photosynthesis, and this is how Duron functions. So these were the six types, right? Six types of in-film preservatives. We have benzimidazoles, then we have carbamates and dithiocarbamates, then we have an haloalkyl thiocompounds, then we had 2 octyl 2 and octyl 4 iso thiazolin 3-ons, that is OIT. Then we have zinc pyrithions, then we had Duron. Okay, so these were the types of infant preservatives. Now let us come to the selection criteria of biocides. This is quite an easy segment, and I don't think this will be asked in the mid semesters. But mid semester exams are very unpredictable, so you might as well do every single thing. So selection criteria of biocides. So the basic parameters are solubility. Okay, then we have compatibility, then we have leaching rate, and then we have volatility. Okay, so solubility of these biocides should be there. And the biocide should be soluble in our paint system. Otherwise, it causes various difficulties like toughness of incorporation. Okay, formation of separate layers. This is another drawback of non-solubles. And then it has poor or uneven performance. This is another drawback. And it should be particularly not soluble in water for toxic reasons, just like your ex-girlfriend or the girl you liked but she always keeps on misbehaving with you. It should not be soluble in water because of toxic reasons. Okay, next we have compatibility. If not soluble, it should at least be compatible with the paint film. This is the minimum requirement for our biocides. At least compatible and dispersible. Okay. Next, let us come to the leaching rate. Now, let us first define leaching rate. Okay. Leaching rate of a biocide is the rate of, this is a general definition by me, this is not written in the notes or explained by Radha. Leaching rate of a substance or a biocide is the rate of release of compounds for preventing fouling substances from attaching themselves to the paint film. This is the basic understanding of leaching rate that I have gained, and you do not have to write this in your answer sheet. The basic thing that you have to write in your answer sheet is that the leaching rate of your biocide should be low. Okay, this is the only requirement. Now we discussed and leaching rate. Then let's come to volatility. There should be non-volatile or minimum volatility should be there in our biocides. Okay. Now there are certain other requirements like long-term protection. biocides can be stored in can preservatives, and paints often have to be stored for longer duration. So definitely long term protection is needed by our is a very important quality of our biocides. Okay, now let us discuss the desirable qualities in a biocide. Just now we discussed the selection criteria of biocides. Now let us talk about the desirable quality of our biocides. First is it should give good biocidic or biostatic effect, whatever desired, in about 0.3% of its 0.3% composition in the paint film. Okay, then it should provide a long term biocidic or biostatic effect. Okay, then it should be cost effective and environmental friendly, and finally it should have a good compatibility. These are the basic selection, not the selection, these are the basic desirable qualities in a biocide. Okay, then let us come to the question of how to decide which biocide you will use for your particular application. So now it has some six types. Okay, first is the type of substrate. Type of substrate. First point. How will you decide? Then second we have application market. Application market. Whether you are applying it in India, whether you are applying it in Europe, whether you are applying it in Afghanistan in case you are a jihadi. We have quite many jihadis in our class. Now let us come the third one. Come to the third one. Range of microorganisms. Okay, the range of microorganisms in a place. You may need only algicides in certain places. You may need algicides and fungicides in certain places. You may need all the three microbial preservatives in some places. Range of microorganisms. Next we have geography. Is it sunny? Is it moist? Is it hot? Next up we have regulations of the market, like right, Europe has a lot of regulations, we don't, India doesn't, but we should be careful, the stupid policies that our car industry has, which is derived from policies of Europe, can also be derived by our paint industry. No one is looking at it currently because it is not causing a problem in Delhi NCR. Our car policy is so stupid because NCR has a smog problem. So as soon as these idiotic cancer causing farmers burn their parali in Punjab and cause smog in Delhi, the high courts, milords, and the ministers sitting in NCR decide that diesel vehicles should be banned. Idiotic policy making, but this is not at this point implemented in the paint industry, but it very well may be. Okay, because India is a country that has taxes of a first world nation and facilities of a fifth world nation like Rwanda. Even Rwanda would have better roads and infrastructure than India. Okay, now then we have various compliances and regulations of European and American markets, like REACH and CLP and biocidic product regulation and all these things. But I will not discuss this. You may read it on your own, and okay, this is not something that I have to discuss it with you. Then we have sequestering agent. Sequestering agent. This is the last topic of this unit. Okay, so let us discuss what sequestering agent is. I'll explain it to you in my own way, and then you can write it as it is in the examination. There will be no mark deduction as per my knowledge. Okay, so water is hard, definitely. Okay, पानी हमारा hard होता है. We have hard water. So this hard water has metallic components in it. This is an undesirable quality in various industries like the automobile industry and other industry, which can cause interaction with alkaline substances and cause deterioration of paint films. So sequestering agent is an agent which reduces the hardness of water or forms complexes with these metals and hence reduces the hardness of water. Basically, understand it like this: sequestering agent is a agent that deactivates the metal ions present in hard water. Hard water is not desirable for industrial applications in paint films because it may react with alkaline substances and it may cause certain other undesirable reactions. Okay, we have examples that are polymeric phosphates like sodium thiophosphate is an example. It is cheap and effective and alkaline. So the most important example of a sequestering agent is sodium thiophosphate. Okay, next we have organic sequestering agent. Organic sequestering agent is nothing but a chelating agent. It transforms metal ions to stable chelates, stable compounds. Okay, by forming chelates. Now it has various examples that you can, I'm sure you can read it in the book or the notes. I don't think this will come in the paper, but just in case, I have explained it. So I'll be coming up with the uh, second unit, oh sorry, fourth unit shortly.